What is happening, PumpTalk Nation? Get ready, because the news cycle is absolutely exploding today, and we've got the inside scoop you cannot afford to miss. We're diving deep into the latest happenings, serving you unfiltered updates that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Stick around, because you're about to get the definitive rundown on what's making waves right now. First up, we're heading into the Big Brother house, where a recent eviction has sent shockwaves through the fandom. One housemate is speaking out, sharing her surprise at the backlash surrounding a particular showmance and offering a candid look at the game's intense dynamics. You won't believe what she had to say about the fallout. Then, we shift gears to another compelling story from the Big Brother universe, focusing on the fan reactions and the crucial moments that led to a key player's exit. What did the viewers think, and how did a pivotal competition play out to seal their fate? We've got the details that everyone's talking about. But hold on, it's not all reality TV drama. We're also bringing you an unexpected situation where a former contestant is making a very public appeal for significant financial support, citing private medical care. What's driving this urgent need, and how are fans responding to this unique plea? Stick around for all these stories and more. And you know what to do: hit that like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Shocking fallout, housemate reacts to showmance backlash. Katherine Woodman, recently evicted from the Big Brother house, has broken her silence following her departure, expressing genuine surprise at the fan backlash directed at her showmance with fellow housemate Riley Jeffries. Woodman's exit came just 1 week after Jeffries, with her own eviction sealed by a decisive 7-1 vote, where only her close friend Lauren Doming cast a vote to keep her in the game. The tension in the house was palpable, especially during the critical blockbuster competition, where Katherine narrowly missed out on victory, with Kelly Jorgensen ultimately claiming the win. Woodman reflected on her time in the house, noting her single competition win, a power of veto, and candidly discussed the strategic decisions behind that win. The most prominent aspect of her post-eviction interview, however, revolved around the fan reaction to her relationship with Riley. Many viewers expressed concern and criticism regarding Riley's behavior towards Katherine, which included instances of aggressive communication, declarations of wanting to marry her, and instances of throwing objects. Katherine, in her conversation with PumpTalk News, addressed these concerns head-on. She revealed that from her perspective within the house, she never felt unsafe or unhappy in her interactions with Riley. The disconnect between her lived experience and the public's perception has left her astonished. She explained that her journey in the house was significantly intertwined with Riley, describing him as her rock. The initial days after his eviction were particularly challenging, marked by emotional distress and a struggle to compartmentalize her feelings while continuing to play the game. Looking back at potential final 2 scenarios, Katherine stated that if Riley had remained, she would have chosen him. With him gone, she considered Ava Pearl, whom she respected for her kindness, as a potential final opponent she believed she could defeat. She also touched upon Lauren's controversial veto usage that led to Riley's renomination, acknowledging her initial frustration, but ultimately understanding it as a miscalculation rather than malice. Katherine also offered insights into Vince's decision to nominate her instead of Rachel, attributing it to Vince's perceived paranoia and susceptibility to house influence. When asked about her own strategic decisions, Katherine defended her choice to win the power of veto over cash or a trip, emphasizing her desire to win a competition specifically and feel the accomplishment of holding the veto power. She expressed gratitude for Lauren's vote, admitting she anticipated a more unanimous eviction. Her overarching sentiment was one of enjoyment, despite acknowledging a tendency to use humor that might have been misinterpreted. She expressed a strong desire to return for another season, particularly to focus more on the competition aspect, which she felt she didn't get enough of this time around. The experience, she concluded, was a great summer, and she was glad to have participated. But the game of Big Brother is never truly over, is it? We're about to dive into how the fans are reacting to these intense house dynamics and the outcomes of crucial competitions. Fan frenzy, blockbuster drama, and eviction fallout. The 7th week of Big Brother delivered a dramatic eviction that has the fan base buzzing, with Katherine Woodman being sent home after a pivotal blockbuster competition. The eviction vote, saw Katherine leave the house with a decisive 7-1 count, with only her ally Lauren Doming voting to keep her. This outcome followed closely on the heels of her showmance partner, Riley Jeffries, also being evicted the week prior, leaving Katherine to navigate the remaining weeks without her primary support system. The competition that sealed Katherine's fate was the blockbuster, a challenge where players aimed to land a ball in a specific slot. Katherine came agonizingly close to securing the win, but Kelly Jorgensen ultimately clinched the victory. Katherine's performance in the House, marked by a single competition win, a power of veto, has been a point of discussion, especially in light of her interactions with Riley. The fan reaction to their showmance has been significant, with many viewers expressing concern over Riley's intense behavior towards Katherine, which included aggressive verbal exchanges and declarations of commitment. Katherine herself has expressed surprise at this backlash, stating she never felt uncomfortable during their interactions within the house and that Riley was her rock. This discrepancy between her experience and the public perception highlights the unique pressures and interpretations that occur within the Big Brother environment. The aftermath of Riley's eviction also saw Katherine considering her potential final two opponents. With Riley out of the picture, she indicated Ava Pearl as a potential opponent she believed she could win against, respecting Ava's generally kind demeanor. Katherine also addressed the strategic moves of other housemates, including Lauren's use of the veto, which inadvertently placed Riley on the block. While acknowledging a brief moment of frustration, Katherine ultimately forgave Lauren, recognizing the complex alliances and potential miscalculations that are part of the game. She also commented on Vince's decision-making, suggesting his choices were influenced by house paranoia and shifting alliances. Katherine's own strategic choices, such as winning the power of veto instead of monetary prizes, were driven by a desire to achieve a tangible win within the game's competitive framework. The eviction night itself saw limited support for Katherine, with only Lauren casting a vote to save her, a result Katherine had somewhat anticipated. Her overall reflection on the season was positive, though she admitted to using humor that may have been misinterpreted by viewers. The experience has fueled her desire to return to the show, specifically to engage more in the competitive challenges, which she felt were limited in her initial run. The fan reaction to her eviction and the broader dynamics of the week underscore the intense scrutiny and passionate engagement the Big Brother audience brings to the game, dissecting every alliance, competition, and personal interaction. And while the drama inside the house is captivating, the world outside is also seeing its own unique stories unfold. Get ready, because we're about to shift focus to a former housemate making a very public plea for support. Unexpected plea, ex-housemate seeks funds for medical care. Marcus Akin, a familiar face from the 10th season of Big Brother, has launched an unconventional appeal to his fans, seeking £3,500 in donations to cover private medical care. The 51-year-old former window fitter, who spent 13 weeks in the iconic house back in 2009, has described his fundraising effort as a social experiment. Akin, who has since pursued an acting career with roles in zombie films, took to the GoFundMe platform to explain his situation, citing a life impacted by numerous medical conditions that he claims have not been adequately addressed by the National Health Service, NHS. He expressed deep frustration with his current circumstances, stating he is sick and tired of working myself to death with nothing to show for it, and feels taxed into poverty. Akin highlighted his belief that those in positions of power, particularly the political class, live comfortably while ordinary citizens struggle. He drew a parallel to a viral crowdfund that initially sought just £1, but emphasized that his own campaign has a more significant purpose. Detailing his health struggles, Akin revealed he suffers from sciatica, a stage 2 hernia, and 2 degenerated lumbar discs. He stated he has been on the waiting list for necessary operations for over 7 years, concluding that the NHS administration does not deem him a priority for treatment. Akin also mentioned his reluctance to claim benefits, preferring to maintain his self-reliance. The substantial cost of private operations, estimated at around £37,000, plus additional expenses for undiagnosed treatments, underscores the magnitude of his financial challenge. Despite his ailments, Akin has continued to work, only taking time off for procedures like lumbar injections and a recent muscle release surgery. He has already personally invested over £10,000 in private treatments and medical devices, which he suspects are often unnecessary or designed to save the NHS money. His motivation for going public now stems from a desire to seek treatment before his financial resources are completely depleted, noting that he has been helping others in need for the past 9 years. Akin clarified that his criticism is not directed at the NHS itself, but rather at what he perceives as heartless management that diverts funds away from dedicated doctors and nurses. He concluded his message with a hopeful note, encouraging people to see how the campaign progresses. It's a stark reminder of the personal challenges individuals face, even after finding fame. Now, let's circle back to the Big Brother house for a look at how the viewers are reacting to the latest eviction drama. Reality stars Plea sparks debate. Big Brother's Marcus Akin seeks £3,500 for private medical care. Marcus Akin, a contestant from the 10th season of Big Brother, has recently garnered attention not for his on-screen antics, but for a candid and urgent plea for financial assistance. The 51-year-old former housemate, who previously worked as a window fitter and lived with his mother before his reality TV stint, is asking fans for £3,500 through a GoFundMe campaign. Akin, who appeared on the show for 13 weeks in 2009 and later acted in films like Zombiehood and Zombies from Ireland, has revealed that the funds are desperately needed for private medical care. He has framed this endeavor as a social experiment, aiming to highlight the difficulties faced by individuals with chronic health conditions. Akin expressed his profound dissatisfaction with his current work situation and the economic climate, stating, "I'm sick and tired of working myself to death with nothing to show for it. I'm sick of being taxed into poverty." He also voiced frustration with what he perceives as an unfair system where bad people, mostly the political class, live an easy life whilst I and everyone I know struggles. The former reality star elaborated on his health issues, listing sciatica, a stage 2 hernia, and 2 degenerated lumbar discs among his conditions. He claims to have been on the waiting list for essential surgery for over 7 years, leading him to believe the NHS is not prioritizing his treatment. Akin also mentioned his personal expenditure on private treatments, which has already exceeded £10,000, including prescribed gadgets he suspects are ineffective. He feels compelled to seek private care before his financial resources are exhausted, emphasizing that he has a history of helping others over the past 9 years. Akin was keen to clarify that his critique is not aimed at the NHS as a whole, nor its frontline staff, but rather at the administrative level, which he believes mismanages resources meant for hardworking doctors and nurses. His appeal is a direct consequence of the perceived failings of the public healthcare system in providing timely and adequate care for his complex medical needs. The public response to Akin's appeal is likely to be varied, with some fans potentially sympathetic to his plight and others questioning the nature of a social experiment that involves soliciting funds for personal medical expenses. This situation brings to light the broader conversations surrounding healthcare accessibility, the financial burdens of chronic illness, and the role of public figures in leveraging their platforms for personal or societal causes. Akin's story underscores the personal impact of long-term health issues and the difficult choices individuals must make when facing significant medical costs and perceived systemic inadequacies. It's a compelling situation that highlights personal struggles in the face of broader systemic issues. Now, let's head back into the Big Brother house to see how fans are reacting to the latest eviction and the drama surrounding a key showmance. And that's a wrap on today's explosive news rundown. We covered Katherine Woodman's surprising take on the Big Brother backlash, dissected the fan reactions to a crucial eviction, and heard Marcus Akin's urgent call for medical support. Don't miss out on any future updates. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to PumpTalk News for more high-octane content, and ring that notification bell so you're always in the loop. Plus, drop a comment below to let us know your thoughts on today's stories and follow us on all social media platforms for behind-the-scenes action. We'll see you next time.